Regular viewers know that I'm not often promoting products that are sent to me by manufacturers or salespeople, because most of the time these products have absolutely nothing to do with the channel and what we do here. Sometimes it happens that there are products that I'm willing to review because I use them, and very rarely I get a product that I need, that I need right now at that moment when I'm contacted, and that was this case. A company called Basecamp contacted me if I wanted to try their dust mask, and it's not a half face mask, the one I'm usually wearing, but it's more like a flexible neoprene one. And I am always interested in safety products that are comfortable to wear. I'm not wearing safety products enough just because they're not comfortable. A dust mask I should be wearing 90% of the time, really. Anyway, we're going to give this one a try, and I received it at exactly the right moment because it's going to be a really dusty day today. So this is a face mask from the company Basecamp. Guys, quiet down. I'm recording something here. Must have seen a cat or so. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Well, now reliving the COVID times. But yeah, I mean, that is definitely quick and it's washable. And well, they sent me a whole brief about the company and blah blah blah. I'm honestly not that interested. What I want to see is that I can work in a dusty environment wearing this mask comfortably, and then when I blow my nose there's no black coming out. That's what I want to see. Let's go to the bathroom, and we're gonna shape the bathroom a little bit, well, the shower cubicle, take off the hard edges, round it off a little bit by sanding, by cutting, by grinding, by sawing. And then after that I gotta start with the plumbing of the cubicle. There's a lot more masonry to be done, but I want to do the shower cubicle first, because the more masonry I put in that bathroom, the harder it becomes for me to get around and definitely also install electrics and plumbing, because that's coming up. That's really coming up. I gotta cut out channels in the wall for all of that and do the routing. But first we're gonna make some dust. Let's go to the bathroom. So I've just been sanding for an hour or so, and just had a little look inside my mask, but there's a little bit of white dust sitting inside. It's made its way through somehow. I must say the mask is not really fitting my face well. It should be a bit larger. I had to adjust it a few times. Potentially that's how, and you see there's dust, white dust. Yeah, where it shouldn't be really. Maybe I should get a larger size mask. I'm now going to wash my face and try on this 3M mask and see if I get the same dust on my face underneath the mask after the next hour of sanding. I mean, it's a comfortable mask, that's definitely the case, and this is super fine dust, right? It's cement, basically dust. So it's potentially that I should wear a mask like this for this kind of work, and that flexible mask for more like sanding or wood or that sort of stuff. I'm not sure. I'll have to contact the company. I also like to have a larger mask. I need one size up, that's for sure. I've got a big face. I'm not just like a horse, basically. Ugh. Wow, what a work. So I've sanded the walls smooth. All that excess glue is gone now. I don't know how useful that was because there's gonna be fairly thick layer of cement render on it anyway, which would have covered a millimeter thick render glue. But yeah, well, 3 hours of sanding. What's 3 hours in the life of a person? So yeah, and it's just better doing it good from the first time around. Yeah, all these edges are rounded and not perfectly rounded, just by hand. Yeah, I just have to keep in mind that this radius is going to be exaggerated by the layers of render. So what might be a sharp corner now will be less sharp later on when there's an additional layer of render over it. But we're not there yet for the rendering because I first got to install the taps in there. Well, the taps, I've got to install the plumbing for the taps because I got to cut out a channel for the plumbing and install the water line and then close it all up before rendering. Now to install the tap, we're not going to install a standard tap from a shop. We're gonna make one ourselves, and for that I'm gonna have to solder, because that's gonna be cool. It's gonna be brass and copper. Right, that's I'm gonna take a shower. I'm just so dusty. I'm gonna take a shower and then carry on soldering. Cool. So when you install a shower tap, you usually get something like this, and this is a plate that you set in the wall or basically on the surface of the wall, and this part sits in the wall. This is where your hoses connect to these fittings, and then what you're going to see sticking outside of your wall are these two threaded pipe ends, and here is where your mixer tap sits on. So you don't see this because your mixer tap sits in front of it and you have some rendering or whatever you have on your wall tiles in front of this plate. But this is a standard size. You can just install it like that and then you have your standard size for a standard size water mixer, hot and cold. Now I'm going to build my own mixer tap and that's not a standard size. In order for me to know where I got to cut the channels for the water hoses, I'll need to build my mixer tap first. And then later I'm probably going to have to cut this plate through because I think that my hoses need to have much more space in between of them. My tap is going to be a lot larger than the standard size. So before I can start cutting the channels, I need to sort of assemble my mixer tap, and that's what I'm gonna do right now. So this is my mixer tap. Water comes out of the wall here. Hot, cold. You decide how much hot, how much cold. Water goes up. This tap is open, water goes up and it comes out of the big shower head. If you wanted to use the hand shower, then you close this one and you open this one. And then here is the hand shower, the hose of the hand shower. I just gotta cut the pipe for these parts in between. And then I gotta solder all the copper joints. And I gotta screw these ones in place with some hemp and a special paste for that. So that's basically the whole shebang. Now if I do it at very minimal space, and I see that my standard size is not going to fit. So I'm going to have to cut this apart and it's going to be two separate sections. But I know what the distance is between the two hoses that are going to be in the wall, and that was really important to me. There's several ways of making sure that you got a leak-proof connection, and the way you see many amateurs do is with this Teflon tape, but you shouldn't be using that really. It's rubbish. Then there's another kind of tape, a fiber seal. Been recommended to me once and I've done quite a few connections with that in the past. But my preferred way is flax, the old-fashioned way, and this is sort of a pâté à joint afdichtingspasta. That's a paste to close. paste of a joint, something like that, especially for drinking water. Doesn't say it in English what the official name is, but I've done all the connections here in the house so far, and yeah, I kind of like the stuff. You just take some flax, or flax, what is it? I think it's flax, isn't it? Roll it, and then you want to go. Oh no, oh, not too fast. First we put some of this paste on, just a tiny bit. Work it into the thread. Then you take some of this flax or hemp. Is that the same, flax and hemp? I don't know. You just start at the very end and go gently with the thread. Not too much, just a little bit of the stuff is enough. And then a little bit more of this stuff. It's all covered. I believe that the function of the hemp is that it swells once it gets in contact with water. I'm not 100% sure. And now we take our spanner. And then I think that I might have done a half decent job, but I'm not sure. You only know once you test it, right? Now that I have installed the threaded parts, basically, I am going to start with soldering. You just gotta make sure that the taps are running in the right direction. Yeah, they should be assembled like this, because the taps, they have a little arrow indicating the water flow. That's correct. Now I gotta make sure that the angle is identical on both sides. I don't want to have one tap pointing upwards and another one pointing a little bit down. So I'm just going to yeah, parallel basically, or in one line. So that means that this is sitting on the wall and then the tap is just sticking at a 90-degree angle out of the wall. You can do it a little bit up or a little bit down, but just got to make sure that both sides are exactly the same, huh? So before we do anything, we got to make sure that this is all clean. And the best way to do that is just with a little bit of what we call sandpaper. Some people call it emery paper. Yeah, just roughen it up a little bit. Also this piece of connecting pipe. Better safe than sorry. And this piece on the inside. Okay, and then what we have in Europe, it's called S39. And I'm not really sure how you would call this in English. No, I don't. But that goes in. Flux. I think you call it flux, isn't it? All right. Now we set it so. And now we can start heating the thing up. And that's it. Now, when you heat it up, you heat the area where you want the tin. I think it's tin, isn't it? Where you want this to go, because it has it has the tendency to go where to the heat. Yeah, we got this little bit of discoloration on the copper, but that was not smart. Yeah, that discoloration, I'm not too fussed about it, in all honesty. It's maybe adding to the charm. Yeah, my preference goes to plumbing that is soldered like this, because you can always undo it. You just heat it up and pull it apart and redo it. You can reuse these parts, right? Okay, and exactly the same here. Making sure that's all in line. Bloody hell, that's still hot. That stays hot long. And I didn't even heat it up that long. See, what I'm doing now is not ideal, because the tin, the molten tin, could go into the tap itself, preventing the tap to open and close properly. But yeah, I'm not in a nice workshop, you know. And of course you do this in a well ventilated area. Up, okay. Okay. Now let the whole thing cool down, and then well, I gotta find a way to test this under pressure for leaks, that's for sure. But I do know my dimensions, so that tomorrow I can start cutting the channels for the water supply. Yeah, it's gonna look epic when, oh, I'll show you later, but I need to decide where to put it in the stall, in the shower stall. Okay. And I got, this is the most classical way to put it on this wall, but then you turn it on and you're standing under the shower. I can also put it here. Yeah, I like that. You like this, huh? So you stand outside, you're not standing under the water, you turn it on here, you feel, and then you step in, and it's not in the way. It's really not in the way.
Where's the piping gonna go?
Which piping? In the wall, under here, out?
In the wall.
Which piping? The feet for the water or the copper piping?
Copper piping.
It's gonna be running up here and then across, something like that. So yesterday I tried out the Basecamp M Pro mask, the flexible neoprene mask from Basecamp, and I thought it was not really fitting me perfectly, but I've looked up the sizing guidelines on the website, and it's a sort of a most sizes fit kind of thing. I measured my face, and according to the guidelines on the website it should be fine. I thought it was a bit short here, but maybe that's just me. Also, I noticed that the goggles I was wearing were fogging up, which it shouldn't be doing, because it's got this clip on your nose preventing goggles to fog up. But yeah, I guess it's just a problem caused by the goggles. I still need to find the right kind of goggles. Now, the conditions I was working in yesterday were just the worst you can get, probably. It was so dusty. That kind of work warrants a full face mask, which is goggles integrated with mask, completely enclosed, because dust was coming behind the goggles in, and it was just, yeah, I mean, I don't know, I can't imagine any worse circumstances for a mask to have to work in. I cleaned the mask. You can clean it, you can wash it by hand in a hand wash. I threw away the filter because that was really gross. And I'm just going to put a new one in because I'm going to wear it today. And today the circumstances should be demanding, but not too demanding. So you just take one of these new filters, and that goes in like that. And then you take the valves, and each valve, there's two valves, consist of two parts. A one-way valve, and this is obviously the outer bit, and it just closes like that. Right, so this part goes in here. And then through the neoprene. Okay. Number 2. Maybe I should just tighten this one a little bit more. It's snug, it really is snug. But I guess this is the way. So I have partially assembled my shower mixer, and it's gonna look a lot more epic steampunk than this, because there will be a tap on the side for the hand shower, and then the copper pipe will go up, and the big shower head is being manufactured at the moment in Morocco. We've sourced it from Etsy, also copper. It's gonna look cool. I can now determine where it's gonna sit on the wall and where I need to install, or actually where I need to cut the channels in the wall for the water supply lines. I have washed it with water and soap because I understand that flux can corrode copper or discolor it. Yeah, I could polish it. I have a polishing wheel. I could remove all the excess solder. Here, maybe you can see it. I have to remove this blob though, but the discoloration, I'm pretty sure Nadia wants to leave that on, because it makes it look well, more artisanal, rugged, industrial. Don't know what you call it. Anyway, just gonna get to work. So I've got my 2 slots in the wall. They're deep enough. I checked them with the hose. And now I've got to, well, I already separated them into 2 different fittings. And now I got to make sure that that this is all fitting in the wall. This distance is too much. So I gotta cut the threaded part and then cut it at the size that my connection will still close watertight, but also that this fit in the wall. But you're gonna see all that next time. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for subscribing, for liking, for commenting. Thank you very much for sharing. And a big thank you to the people below who are helping me to run this channel. If you want to donate me a coffee, see the link below or in the description, and then I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye now.